All right, so I'm here with the T-Rex 500X. This is the maiden flight. I'm not going to be pushing this helicopter very hard. The only thing I have kind of outstanding is I wasn't able to hook 2 satellites to this micro beast. So what I'm going to do, I've only got 1 satellite receiver on it right now. I'm going to get a 6610, hook that up, and then hook the satellite to that. But right now, I just have 2 satellites. And I can't, when I plug one in here and one in here, the helicopter, it doesn't work. I can't get it to work. So unfortunately, I am only flying 1 receiver when this helicopter should have 2. I'm using the Micro Beast, and right now I'm only using 1 satellite receiver. So I'm not going to get this thing too far from me. I have hover flown this through 3 batteries, but I have done nothing other than hover it. So this is sort of a maiden flight, but at the same time, I'm not going to be doing what I normally would do with distance and some other things. I'm going to be keeping it pretty close. For settings, I'm running, it's got 5 different flight settings. I believe the second one is Sport. I just moved it to the 3rd one. I forget what it's called. It's not Expert. I think 4 is Expert. I've got it on the 3rd flight settings right now. I've got a 3300 milliamp battery in it. I've got the throttle set at 70% on normal mode, 70% on stunt 2, and 75 on stunt, or 70% on stunt 1 and 75% on stunt 2. So pretty conservative throttle settings. I'm not using a governor, and let's put it up.
Normal mode.
I haven't flipped it into stunt mode yet. That tail. Very little response to the wind. You got a pretty good wind going out here. I don't know if I love the gyro settings on the tail. So I had it in Sport when I was hovering it, and I didn't like the way it was responding. That tail is still a little jittery. I've got the gyro at 55%. I think I'm gonna have to lower it. It's handling well, not really doing anything unexpected. So let's go to stunt and see what happens. No response at all, which is, I've got the throttle set at 70, so I wasn't necessarily expecting a response. Definitely drops faster. We'll go to stunt 2, we should see a small jump. Very, very minimal response. Back to stunt, back to normal mode. good looking, stable helicopter. We got a good wind coming right now, and it is just pretty much glued. I'm gonna reduce the gyro settings a little. Flying into the wind. That's like a weird sounding kind of thing there. I don't like that sound. It just got like a little bit of a wag there. I think that the gyro is too high. Yeah, it's at 65% right now. I think that's too high. So we'll go down to 55. I think that's going to be the way to go. And then I'll put this switch set up here, drop down to 50. Being that this was the first time that I've even taken the helicopter like 5 feet off the ground, and I'm making some adjustments, at this point I'm going to take it home and look everything over and make sure that none of these screws work themselves loose or anything, just because it's its first higher flight and there was a little bit of a wag there. I'm pretty sure it was just the gyro setting, but I want to look everything over before I fly it anymore. But so far, first impressions, I'm loving it. It's super smooth. It was eating that wind. I'm super happy with it. Very exciting helicopter to fly. I can't wait to put a couple more batteries through it and get a little more used to it and do some of the 3D stuff that I usually do. I can hover upside down and put it through some tail whips and do some other stuff with it. Right now, I want to put a couple flights on it and look everything over and make sure nothing's coming loose or anything like that. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys this. I just did like the maiden flight where I took it up, and I can't believe that I did this. I started to notice a little bit of a wag about 3.5 minutes into it. Take a look at this. This is this ball link that is attaching to this main blade grip. I must not have Lock-tited this ball link, and you can see it's just starting to come loose. I cannot believe that I missed a screw. I did not Lock-tite this screw, and if I had flown this anymore, it was starting to wag. It may have let go. It would have this helicopter would have totally crashed. I mean, if it let go of that blade grip, I don't think I would have been able to control it. So, you know, at first I was thinking I was just going to get rid of this video, but I don't know. It's a good lesson. When you are, well, first of all, Lock-tite every darn screw. I mean, everyone probably knows that already, but when you're maiden flying it, just pay close attention to what it's doing. And sure enough, like, I could have crashed this thing if I had kept flying it over one screw right there that needs to be Lock-tited. So I will Lock-tite that and get some more aggressive. Geez, I'm glad I didn't flip it upside down or anything. Oh my God, it would have been destroyed. So Lock-tite every last screw. Don't skip one. Everyone probably knows that already. But good flight, super happy with it, and look for future videos, hopefully doing some more maneuvers with this thing. All right, so today was my maiden flight of the 500X, T-Rex 500X here. Went really good. When I call it the maiden flight, I mean, to me, it was really like an operational flight. I put it in stunt 1 and stunt 2. It handled those transitions flawlessly. I mean, no jump at all. Now, my remote settings are pretty conservative. I'm not running a governor. I'm running 70% in normal, pretty much flat line. 70% in stunt 1. There was no response from the helicopter in switching. And then I'm running 75% in stunt 2. And even there, when I switched it, the difference was negligible. I mean, the response seemed, not really. I flew it for 4.5 minutes on this 3300, and at 4.5 minutes, it came in at 30%. So, yeah, I mean, I would say, a 5-minute flight, it's going to come in at 25%, which is fine. Now, unfortunately, 100% my own fault. I noticed towards the tail end of the flight that the helicopter had a little bit of a shimmy. And I was like really wrestling with, it was the maiden flight, so I kind of wanted to do some cool stuff with it. I was going to take it out and do some loops and fly it upside down and everything. And I'll tell you, thank God I didn't, because at about the 4-minute mark, I noticed it had what I thought was just a little bit of an odd shimmy in it. And it's, obviously it's a new build. So I just said, you know what, I'm calling it a day. I landed it. And sure enough, this ball link, totally my fault. I forgot to Lock-tite this one ball link. You can see it's come away from the main blade grip just a little bit. So, I mean, it's no secret there. I'm sure everyone's heard it 1,000 times. Lock-tite, Lock-tite, Lock-tite. These parts come mocked up out of the box. You got to remove all the screws and Lock-tite them. And so I guess, I'm really happy with the decision not to go out there and run it through all the stuff I usually fly, because, I missed one screw and it got a little bit of a shimmy and a vibration, and who knows where that would have gone, had I gone out and been flying it upside down and, doing loops and all that stuff. So it was a great flight. I'm super happy with it. I put 3 batteries through it just hovering the other day. Right here at my house, really just going nowhere and just hovering it. It responded very well. And today I actually took it up, 30, 40 feet, drove it out away with a little bit of acceleration, drove it back a little bit. Have a very slight tail wag when the wind was hitting it. So I had my gyro set at 65%. I think that was too high. So I knocked it down to 55, but I didn't want to mess with it at the field and start Lock-titing things at the field. So, I just called it a day. It was a good flight, but everything else went good. The other thing that I was concerned about is that right now I just have a satellite receiver on this thing. I don't have a real full receiver. So I really should have. I'm try to pick up a 66T, but I can't get it today. I'll have to pick it up tomorrow. So I'll install that, and I'll have this satellite hooked to that. So I'll have the 2 receivers. So I'm hoping next run out, I can push it a little harder and see what happens. But I'll probably actually wind up just doing 2 or 3 more of these operational flights, just to make sure I don't have any other screws turn up loose. I mean, obviously I'll check everything over, but I don't want to undo every screw, and then undo all the Lock-tite. So, great flight. I'm super happy with the helicopter. It flies really terrific. It was a good maiden, and I guess it's a good learning lesson, on these maiden flights. You may miss a screw in the building process, and pay very close attention to the way it's flying. And it told me there's something wrong, and I knew it. And I'm glad I listened to, that voice in my head that said, don't push it. Something's not right. And sure enough, that's it right there. You can see that ball link is just a little loose. But great maiden flight. I'm super happy with it. Can't wait to push it a little harder when I get everything all worked out and set up the way I want it.